Hello everyone. This is Dr. Fazila Huzaifa with you. Thank you for joining in. I hope you all are doing great. We'll just wait for a minute or so for people to join in and then we'll start. Are you able to hear me properly? Just type in the comment section if there is any issue. Am I audible? I'm audible? Perfect. Okay. So just let me know if you are a new mom, how many weeks, months, days it has been that you have delivered. Just a second. So you all know what is the topic today. We will be discussing on some postnatal issues. I'll just wait for a few more seconds. Till that time, I'll just tell you what I do. So I am a senior physiotherapist in this beautiful clinic. It is Sheikh Mana bin Hashir Al Maktoum Polyclinic. It is located on Al Wasl Road, and I basically specialize in musculoskeletal conditions, joint pains, post-fracture, stiffness, and ergonomics. I do ergonomic sessions for office workers, for schools, and so on. Plus, I specialize in antenatal, postnatal exercise classes. So I do take antenatal Pilates exercise classes in the clinic. So that is how me and Ms. Kavita connected, and we thought of doing this session on postnatal women, because we all know that after delivery and all, we are just overwhelmed with so many responsibilities that we keep ourselves, our health in the end, isn't it? So I will just show you some simple tips and tricks on how to take care of your back, your neck, why back pain happens, why neck pain happens, why there is urinary incontinence. Okay, usually in the session which I take for antenatal classes, I usually tell all the exercises that has to be started post-pregnancy, when it has to be started, how it has to be started. So I do educate all the ladies beforehand, because I as a mother also know that after delivery and all, you have so many other things to cope up with that you don't have time to go to the clinics and show yourself to any of the health practitioners. So, okay, I think we should start now. Fine. Okay, so post-pregnancy, we know that 9 months our body goes through a very big turmoil. There are a lot of changes at all different levels in the body that is happening. Okay, so all these changes are reversible, definitely. After the delivery and all, everything comes back to its normal position again. But in some cases, it doesn't. Okay, and that is a time when you land up into back issues, neck issues, the carpal tunnel syndromes. Many of you must have experienced wrist pain or calf cramps, or because of the neck pain you have headaches and all. So let's start with the back pain. Why actually back pain happens? So usually lower back pain. Now we know that 9 months the muscles of the abdomen stretches. Our uterus increases 10 times of its normal size to accommodate the baby. So definitely the organs around, the muscles around, the tissues around, they have to stretch to accommodate the growing uterus and the growing baby, right? So that is a part and parcel of the body. And in the third trimester, especially in the end, so our front muscle, that is the our six-pack muscle, which is the rectus abdominis muscle, that separates a bit. So that separation is normal. Why? Because it has to accommodate the growing uterus. Fine. And usually after the delivery, within 40 days or 50 days, it comes back to its normal position again. So the separation come back in the center, and you have hardly 1 finger depth which is there for normal people. But sometimes it happens that this thing doesn't come again. It stays apart. So that when it stays apart, that is the time that the back is not able to get its strength, and you will end up into back pains. Now you go and take x-rays and you do all the investigation, it will not show up unless and until we check it. Okay, so there is a specific technique of checking it. So you check it and you will find out that there is still some separation which is there. So in that particular condition, there are certain exercises which are not recommended to start. For example, the crunches and all. Because usually after the delivery and all, when we want to lose our belly, the first thing we start is doing crunches for the abdominals. So in that particular condition, which is known as a diastasis recti, that is not recommended. So that is why before starting any exercise program, we have to check whether you still have the diastasis recti or no. So that is one of the cause for back pain. Okay. Now because of that, what happens is, now we have the pelvic floor muscle, right? So the pelvic floor is situated between our thighs, okay? So wherever urinary passage is there, where the anal passage is there, where the vagina opening is there, that is known as the pelvic floor area. Now, the pelvic floor is the floor for the body. So all the organs are sitting on that floor, right? So when the baby is also growing, that extra weight is also on the pelvic floor muscle. Now usually the pelvic floor muscle, the strength and everything is regained after the delivery and all. Fine, automatically. But for some cases, like when you have multiple deliveries, multiple pregnancies, or you have twin pregnancies, or you have a history of miscarriages and all, or when you go for a normal delivery and when the doctor puts an episiotomy cut just to open up the vagina, sometimes there is a muscle injury, sometimes the cut is deep enough to cause a muscle injury, right? So at that time also this leads to weakness in the pelvic floor muscle, which leads to, first is the urinary incontinence that I was telling, that whenever you will sneeze or laugh or cough, you will feel that few drops of urine are just passing. So that is known as urinary incontinence. So the pelvic floor weakness and the diastasis recti can lead to the urinary incontinence and back pain. So that has to be addressed when you are looking for solving the back pain, especially in the post-pregnancy stage. Okay? And the other thing is, see, for 9 months, our belly grows forward, right? So the pelvis, so this is our pelvis, the hips and the pelvis. So they have to go forward. So usually when you see a pregnant lady, you will see that they are tilted forward like this and the belly is in the front. Right? So that is a normal thing that has to happen. The body accommodates. Fine. But what happens is, even after delivery, when you see certain ladies, they'll still be walking like this. So they will not be able to put the pelvis again to its normal position again. So that creates an imbalance again in the muscles. So the front, back, the thigh, front, the buttocks muscle. So that imbalance creates back pain. So these are the common causes why post-pregnancy we have back pain. Now when you have compromised lower back, it is affecting your neck as well. Okay, because when this part is like this, the upper body will compensate by going forward. Okay, so you'll end up with neck issues and upper back pains as well. Plus you are feeding the baby. Sometimes the position of your sitting is not right. Sometimes what happens is, definitely the breasts will become heavy after the delivery and all, because you are feeding. So that itself pulls the upper body forward. Right, So when the upper body comes forward, the neck is supposed to come forward. These are the adjustments that the spine makes so that you are stable, your body is stable. Fine. So the lower back, then the neck, then the lower back, upper back and the neck follows. Fine. And when this is compromised, it puts pressure on your nerves in the neck. So that leads to your hand tingling, numbness and things like that. Okay. So these are the causes why I would say usually what patients I see in the clinic are with these conditions, especially post-pregnancy. So usually I have a habit that in antenatal classes I will tell them all these things and I will give them exercises, posture correction so that they don't land up afterwards into these aches and pains. Okay. So now we talked about the problem. What is the solution for it? And so I will be showing you some tips and tricks on how to handle these things at home. Okay, if it is severe, definitely you have to seek medical attention. But if it is something in the starting stage, or even if you don't have the pain, just try to correct these things so that you are not injuring yourself more and more. Okay, fine. So the first thing is how to do the bending properly. Okay, now usually, for example, if you have to bend forward and pick up some toys, or let's say you have to pick up your baby and all, what usually you will do is you will do like this and pick, isn't it? So you will hunch forward and you will not be bothered about how your back is, how your upper body is. You will just go forward and pick up. But remember, post-pregnancy, your body is already compromised. There is a hormone known as relaxin which is still there in the body. It takes time to wash out from the body. So it will be there post delivery also 6 months. So it makes your joints and more prone to injury. So just be careful that you don't do a sudden jerk movement like this. So if you have to bend, what you have to do is you have to use your lower back. So you have to use your hips to bend. Okay, so as if you are sticking your bums out. So something like this. So see, if you can see, my lower back is still straight. Fine, and then when you have to reach more down, you will just bend and pick up. Okay, I'll just show you again. So you will bend from your hips and then bend from your knees and pick up things from down. Okay, or what you can do is, you can have one foot forward, one foot back and then go down. This is like you don't have to worry about where your hips are and you know how you are bending. So this is very simple. So just one foot forward, one foot back, go down and pick up whatever you want to pick up from down. Okay? Or if you have to train yourself how to bend properly, a simple technique is, for example, so just imagine that you have to sit on the chair. So you cannot sit on the chair like this, right, with your knees forward. So you have to go back and sit like this. So the bending is the same. Okay. So if I do the bending, it is the same. As if I am trying to sit on the chair. And then knee and pick. Okay. Fine. The same rule applies. So for example, you have a baby nappy changing station which is this much low. So this is okay. At least you can do your work with this much height. If in case you have to bend again, bend from here. So bend from the back, knees and do your work. Okay? So this is one thing. The second thing is, for example, you have to sit and you are doing the feeding. So when you are sitting and doing the feeding, or let's say on the chair if you are doing. So sit properly on the chair. Don't sit halfway like this, then go back and then feed. So sit properly on the chair, put a pillow and then put your baby on top of it and then you do the feeding. So that you don't have to go forward like this for feeding. So you are also relaxed and your hands are also relaxed and the baby is also in a comfortable, cozy position. Okay? If you have any questions, any queries, you can just type it and I will just take all the questions in the end. Okay? So first was the bending. Second was how to take care of your upper body when you are feeding. Now you must have also seen those S-shaped pillows, the pregnancy pillows. Those are also a very good investment, because what happens is, for example, you don't have a chair like this and you have to sit down, or you have to just sit with this support. Okay, so what you can do is you can have those S-shaped pillows. Okay, you have it around, you snuggle it in the front, and then put your baby on top and do the feeding. See, as you can see, I am still in a good position. I don't have to go forward like this for feeding. So this itself will take care that your upper body, your neck and lower back is in a good alignment. Fine? Okay. The third thing is, if, for example, you are buying a stroller or something, so one thing that you have to remember is the stroller height should be around your waist level. So the handle of the stroller should be at your navel. So it should not be down, it should not be too much high. Okay? So this, what it will do is, if it is at this level, at least the pushing becomes easy. You don't have to push forward to push the stroller. You are in a good alignment when you are pushing. So your energy is also less used when you are pushing the stroller. And the same thing, when you come forward and you lift the baby, remember that you have to bend from here and lift. Okay? The same rule applies when you are making the child take a bath. Maybe on the sink, or if you are sitting down on the bathtub or something like that. Make sure that you are bending like this, sitting, doing your work and getting up. Make sure that the baby is close enough. So the more your hand is away from your body, the more your back muscle has to work more. So make sure that whatever you are handling, like your baby or any stuffs related to the baby, it should be near to your body. Okay? Fine. And the last thing I would like to say is the posture. Okay, I'll just show you some tips for posture correction. Okay, so just do that along if you are in a safe place. So the first thing is, imagine that there is a crown on your head and you have to balance that crown all the time. So your head should not be like this, or poked forward. Okay, make sure that it is in the center. So it is in the center of your shoulders. Okay. The second thing is your chin. So make a fist out of your hand. Okay, and put it at your throat level. Now just try to touch the chin to the hand, something like this. So don't push it like this. Okay, it's just a light squeeze. So when you do it correctly, you will see that the back of the neck gets stretched. It is a very subtle movement, so you should not be doing like this. Fine, so you are just standing straight and just a light squeeze. Okay, so crown on your head, a mango in between the chin and chest, and the third thing is your smiling collarbone. Okay, so when you see from the side, usually our shoulders will be like this because we will be nursing the baby in the front. So what care you have to take care is the shoulder bone, the collarbone should be smiling. So if I do it correctly, see here. So if I put my head, neck and shoulders in line, see my posture instead of this. Okay? And the final thing is your pelvis. So ideally in my classes I show them the pelvic tilts and on the ball and sitting and standing in a cat and cow position on how to balance the pelvis in a neutral position. But now it will be difficult to show you. So what I can just tell you is, the simple trick is, for example, you are just trying to pull your belly in towards your spine. Okay, so just try to pull the belly towards your spine. You will see that your back is getting more straight. You get some movement here as well. You don't have to pull it too much hard, just a light pull of your belly towards the spine. Okay, so this is the full posture correction. So imaginary crown, a mango in between the chin and chest, a smiling collarbone and a light pull of the abdominal muscles towards the spine. Okay, so these are the basics you have to follow post delivery. Also, one more thing, if somebody wants to start exercising after the delivery, then if it is a normal delivery, you have to wait for 6 to 8 weeks to start, and if it is a C-section, you have to wait for around 3 months to start any kind of physical activity again. Okay, light activity you can do, like moving around, and don't lift weights more than your baby's weight. Okay, so wait and try to take a rest, but do your own stuffs, like, but don't overdo it. Okay, you can take light walks and all in the house, that is not a problem. Okay, fine. Any questions? I'll just take some questions. My hand becomes numb after feeding. What can I do? So, Ms. Kavita, just try the posture that I told you while feeding. Okay, and see what happens is you must be holding the head at the wrist and the hand junction. So that creates pressure on the wrist. So that might be one of the thing, or else you must be having some tingling during your pregnancy as well. So that is just going till now. So it will settle on its own, but as of now what you can do is take a good posture while feeding the baby. Okay, make sure that the head, neck and the collarbone is in alignment, and then after feeding what you can do is just do some wrist movements. So something like this you can just do, or something like this, you know, just to relax the wrist. I hope I have answered your question. If still anything, just let me know, Ms. Kavita. Okay, fine. Any other questions? I hope I have made myself clear. If there's anything, you can still comment after the live session and I'll just go through it and I'll comment back. Okay, so Ms. Romana is asking, please advise, always my back and shoulders are hurting. So Ms. Romana, if it is after the delivery that you are telling that you have back and shoulder pain, then you can just try the modifications that I told you for sitting, bending, lifting, and keep on doing some stretches in between, like every 2 to 3 hours you can just do some basic stretchings like neck moving in all the directions, shoulder stretchings. Okay, and while feeding the baby, Mr. Mana, I'm not able to get your question. Can you please tell me again, Ms. Romana? I'm not able to get your next question. Feeding baby, butterfly never relaxed. I'm not able to get Ms. Romana. Romana, back hurts. Yeah, the same thing I told you, Ms. Kavita, that just C-section, after the C-section. Okay, fine. See, as I told you, the reasons for the back pain. So C-section, definitely the muscles are being opened up. So it takes time to heal. It takes time for the muscle to get the strength back. Okay, so that is why, with the load that we are putting with faulty postures and all, it aggravates the pain more and more because the muscle doesn't have that much strength to hold you. Okay, so if it is a long-standing pain and with all your home remedies also it has not gone, then I would suggest you to just get a checkup done with a professional, with a medical professional, maybe an orthopedic or a physiotherapist or a GP. They can just check you, or your gynec can check you, and then just do whatever is recommended. Okay, shoulders are never relaxed naturally, always they are in tension. Okay, see, with our today's lifestyle, with more and more sedentary lifestyle, and with our online things increasing, we are anyways hunched forward more and more. So these areas are always in that poked chin and hunched forward position. Okay, and with your delivery and all, it is aggravated more. Why? Because you are feeding the baby and you have sleepless nights and all, so that aggravates the tension here. Fine. So what you need to do is, again, correction of the posture. You have to be really very mindful of keep on correcting your posture again and again and again. Do some stretchings, do hot packs in the evening or whenever you take a hot shower. No, just make sure that you just run down some hot water on your neck and upper back area, just to relax the muscles over there. Okay. Is it necessary to visit the OB after the normal delivery? Usually they have after 6 weeks they do call for a checkup because they just want to check whether the vaginal area has healed properly, or if you have any questions regarding your fitness levels and all. So that is why after 6 weeks they usually call. It is good to go and just get a checkup done. Thank you, Miss Meenu. I have tingling in my fingers and pain when I wash my hands in cold water. Do I have to visit the doctor? Miss Kavita, how many weeks or months it has been that you have delivered? And did you have any carpal tunnel during your pregnancy? Miss Neha, I will definitely try your posture correction directions. Thank you so much. And I have more in detail on my page. I think Miss Kavita has already tagged my page. So you can just go through that as well whenever you all have time. Because there I have done everything in detail regarding the sitting posture, the working postures and all. Miss Kavita, can you please clarify? So if it is... Thank you, Ms. Rumana. My pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving your time. Okay, perfect. So we'll just end the session here, and I can be contacted or through my page. I have a number there as well. Thank you, Ms. Kavita. It has been really good initiative from you. Especially the UAE Pay It Forward, and then doing all these sessions, informative sessions. So thank you so much for the initiative. Okay, I have a question again. I usually get a lower back ache every night while sleeping straight and becomes okay the minute I turn to my side. I've had a normal delivery, any particular thing? Okay, so when you're lying on your back, Ms. Kavita, what you can do is just put a small pillow under your knees. So it should be horizontal. I'll just show you. Wait. So in that way you can just put the pillow under your knee, so that will make sure that the back is straight. As I told you in the start of the session that the lower back, we have this natural tendency of going forward during the pregnancy. Fine. So that posture still remains even after the delivery. You have to consciously keep on pulling your abdominal muscles to or correct the pelvic tilt to make it in alignment again. So that is why the lumbar lordosis must have increased. That is why when you sleep on your back, you don't get so much of relief. I'll just show you how you have to sleep. Okay, so if you're lying straight, just make sure to put a pillow like this and then sleep. Okay, so as you can see that my lower back becomes straight when I'm putting this. So just bending the knees little will relax your lower back. Okay, so that you can do. And then when you're sleeping on your side again, make sure that you are putting a pillow like this in between the knees and then sleeping. So that also will make sure that the lower back is straight. Okay? Fine. Thank you, Ms. Kavita. Thank you. See you all. Bye-bye.